Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
Here's how I'm going to be combating worry and stress and anxiety. So with the business, I normally get an email every day of like, hey, there's been a deposit or withdrawal. And I haven't gotten any of those emails in a week. And normally that trigger happens when there's over $750. So either like there's something wrong with my merchant account or we're not getting any deposits. But looking at mind, body to track the stuff, we're down 25% year over year on projected revenue, on revenue for the month. And I trace that back to the sellers doing that big PIF sale, taking the money and running after the sale. So, I haven't looked at the profit and loss from last month, but I'm not too optimistic about it. So what am I doing to combat worry? So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to do what I can do today. I need to get back to the seller because there's some reimbursements I have to do for like utilities and stuff. So that's one action item I can do to distance myself from the sellers. I don't have to think about them anymore. I'm also going to go through and make sure my management team that is now in charge of payroll, that went through smoothly. I'm going to check the bank account to make sure like we're in the green. If there's anything I have to do with my merchant, the processes, all the credit card processing, that we're in good standing there. That's pretty much all I can do. The marketing is going. My sales rep is going. I'm going to take action on things that I can take action on. Those are tactically what I'm doing. Philosophically, what I'm doing is I'm going to spend time in God's Word. That's going to be important. That's going to help remind me of timeless truths. If you don't believe the Bible, if nothing else, the Bible's been around for a couple thousand years, and it's helped other people through stressful, anxious seasons. And so whether you subscribe to the Bible or nothing else, the Bible's been around for quite a while. So it's worked 9 times out of 10 for other people. So give it some weight. Give it some thought. If you need something that's worked, give it some weight. If you're trying to start something brand new that's never been tried before, I'd be hesitant to that. So regardless of where you subscribe to, work with something that's been timeless and has worked historically for people. Especially when people are being attacked, persecuted, slaughtered, and they get hope from it. That's probably evidence that it works on some level, some way. I'm also starting up the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Who's that by? Who's that by? Well, let me pull that up here. By Dale Carnegie. That's an audiobook, and I can't remember if it's Dale or someone else who reads it, but that's a book that I've listened to over and over again. That's been really meaningful. And just to remind, like, 2 takeaways from it. Live in day-type compartments. So don't only worry about what you can do today. Don't worry about something that's going to happen 6 months from now. Because 6 months from now is going to get here one way or the other. So I don't need to worry about tomorrow when tomorrow is not even here yet. I just have today to worry about. Another one is I just implement action steps on something and fast forward to the end result of what the thing is. And one of the things is a guy was getting blackmailed. And he realized, all right, well, if this blackmail is real, then I'll lose my business and I'll lose my reputation. All right, well, I'll just go find a job and I'll be fine from there. That's what's going to happen. No one's going to prison. No one is getting executed because their business went under. Your business just goes under. You declare bankruptcy, you get a job, and then you take some steps back in life, but it's not the end of anything. And so it sounds goofy, but you have to like put down to paper what's going to happen if these negative things come to reality. And odds are they're not going to come to reality. Some of it may, but if you fast forward to what could happen, the positive or the negative, you have to give equal weight to the 10% worst likelihood as you do the 10% best likelihood. They're equally likely. And so you have to give credit to both sides of that. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm really going through what can I do today with my day job? What can I do with the gym? What can I do with vendors? And yeah, right now in my head, I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, what kind of personal lines of credit I'll have to be pulling to keep the business afloat from now? I'm not going to worry about that right now because I don't have to do that today. I may have to do that 8 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 months from now, but I don't have to do that today. So I'll invest that energy in another day because today I need to invest my energy into what I can do today. And those are what I'm doing today. It's not at all about the business, the state of the business, if we're profitable. Tonight, I'm the founder of my franchise and the company or the other franchise that we're merging with. They're both in town. They're hosting a dinner. All the local franchisees are hanging out. I'm sure it's a forum Q&A session with them. At the end of the day, like the founder of the franchise that I was already in, most likely it's a retirement move. He's been doing the business for 30 years. Great guy, or quality individual. And he's in his like early mid 60s. And so he's not going to do this till he's 80, I doubt. And so to merge with another company, most likely you get a check of the day of the sale, and then you get an earn out over time. So likely, and this is all my assumptions. I don't know if this is valid, but most likely there's a check right now of like, hey, congrats, we're merging. You get a liquidity event is what it's called. And then each subsequent year for the next 3 years or 5 years, there's some sort of performance payout, whether it be revenue, number of renewals, number of new sales, number of whatever franchisees that are still in the system. Like there's some sort of earn out so that the founder or the seller doesn't just like bail and then go to the Bahamas and then leaves the buyer in the lurch. That's pretty common for a larger scale thing here. So that's most likely it's a retention tour. And of all the franchisees, only one has this as their full-time job. Everyone else has this and either a spouse that works a full-time corporate job, or they own a studio and they work a full-time day job. So I'm not going to give my opinion on that because when these episodes release, I don't know the state of the franchise, but of the 50 or so franchise locations, we'll see how many are going to be here at the end of their renewal time. Because if owner-operators are making an okay living, but they're not making a whole lot of money, and they can make more money as an employee rather than as a business owner, honestly, that's a better route to go when you don't have the cost and the headache of hiring, firing, accounting, sales, marketing, fulfillment, liability, making a rent payment every month. Like, it's just easier to get a day job. And the only studio that's really making good money, she's working crazy hours. She says she's an absentee owner, but then you go to the events, you look at like their social media, and they're like doing the parades, they're doing the pop-up events, they're doing the weekend at some health club conference, and they may own a couple studios, and they might be making a great income, but a great income with great liability, and the business is only worth what you can sell it for. And all the other studio owners can't make this their one-time focus. And I should have done that in the due diligence. I should have called a dozen locations. I only talked to a couple owners. When I say couple, I mean like 2. And everyone who's doing this and a full-time job, like they have a good full-time day job, and they do this as like a martial arts instructor or a passion project. This particular brand is not a massive moneymaker for people. And I don't think that's a surprise when you talk to folks. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. We're going to take some action on what we can do with the current studio. We're going to take some action with what we can do separating and breaking off from the seller. We're going to have a great dinner tonight with the CEO and the president, the founder of my franchise, and the CEO of the umbrella company that we're connecting up with. And we're going to worry about today. Listen to some great audiobook. I'm going to have a great job, a great day as an employee at the day job. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Let's rock and roll.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY Due Diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.